been resolved. We bought enough time here, and so we do have Mamba mode taking on ASMR over on Mamba mode, and they will be starting on the defense. And ASMR, aggressive push down the long here for Mamba mode. They're just getting after it, and Joseph is dropping bodies, but not enough. Wingdid on the scene. And as you said, he was a player to watch here. He certainly is early on. There's going to be the push up. Harmful, trying to retake this angle. Has the health for it, wants to fight. Of course, these players do have the Phantoms. But they all do. They'll get the ult orb here. They'll get this space. They're making their way through, but they've still got the player disadvantage. Owl going to give some much-needed intel here. There's the tag as well. He's going to have to back off. The Phoenix, who's got to get on out of there. Spike will go down. It is afforded, as they didn't really have the ability to fight it out, but a nice shock dart to take Fox down to 44.
Chase over an elbow right now, trying to spot out a player. Starts to move out, spots one in the octagon. 2 quick kills coming out here. It's going to be the shotgun up close and personal from We Did. We praise this player coming into it. We Did goes for the peek. Not going to be where it needs to be. Taps the spike, trying to bait this player out of that corner. They won't peek initially, just holding right now, and We Did waiting to spot them. 20 HP for We Did. Starts to go around the corner, but it's Harmful that comes out on top of the Sova v Sova duel. There will be the pistol round going the way of ASMR.
We do have We Did on that Sova. We got Zek on the Sage, Infamous on the Brim, Critical on the Cypher, and Chase on the Phoenix. The Phoenix perhaps the only part of this that is a little bit of a difference from sort of the standard kit that we do see on this map. On the other side, in its place, we've got the Raze. We've seen a lot of teams favoring here. That's the Raze on Fox, interestingly, instead of Turnup. Turnup playing the Cypher on this map, so changing things up a little bit here for ASMR as they do swap some roles around. But again, it seems like it's going to be a heavy lean towards Nade. It's the full stack here from Mamba. Nade's going to go in. That'll catch a lot. The Satchel's getting more. Fox could be able to feast right here. Tons of damage coming through. And they can just leave. They don't need to fight this. Fox really wants to, and getting the kills will enable the Nade to come back out. There's already an ult up here for Fox, getting another kill. The Showstopper could come through, but that spike will go down, and this round is just about over from the get-go.
Fox coming around the corner, will spot out one more. It's a 4-piece on the round. Zek will at least get 1 kill for their side. They've already got the Showstopper ult charged up completely for ASMR. It's a little bit scary right now if you're Mamba mode coming into the next round. It's down to the Sage and the Sage alone. Zek has upgraded to a Frenzy, quote-unquote upgrade. As that 78-1 headshot, so incredibly frustrating at times with the automatic pistol. Starts moving back towards mid, wants to grab the SMG. Might be in a position for punish as they're starting to come out of the hookah as the spike's about to detonate here. We'll see if he times this one nicely. Does make a step. They're actually going to be jumping out of hookah and going through the port. I like the awareness there, understanding that he could be waiting around the corner, ready for the punish. So all of the players currently alive for ASMR, all 4 of them, going to survive the round, and it will be them walking into the next round with a decent stack of cash back behind the equipment they're bringing in. So a bit of a bonus round coming in from ASMR as they're not really going to have to buy. And I don't think that Fox will really buy too much because of the fact that he's got that ult. And that's exactly what he decides to do. He buys down to 2,900, so he'll have the Sheriff with some armor, but he does have the Showstopper, the Rocket, to try and open up the round.
Okay.
Interesting after your long conversation about how much you wanted to see more Omen play.
Revealing area.
Yeah.
We got no Omen.
Yeah.
No
I know, we have
Does it make you
Phoenix
sad?
too. Well, so here's the thing, like, I get frustrated because I feel like Phoenix in comparison to Omen, like, the Omen is just stronger in general, but I get the play of Phoenix. Run it back's a really good ult. Self-healing is amazing. You see some players play Phoenix really well, speaking specifically of Drone for TSM. But I do still want to continue and say that I love Omen, and I think he's really strong. There's the ult we were talking about, how good it could be to potentially open up the site. Fox doesn't really get much going because the Rocket goes out after his death, but at least he'll take out that player that was trying to hide themselves on the site. The LMG spraying towards the tuna can on site, not able to stop the planet. Zek, who's currently elbow with the rifle to take out Weak, his Sage counterpart. That'll bring things to a 4-on-3 here, advantage for Mamba mode.
And I like this flank coming in from Chase. This could be huge. These players are funneled in, they're pushed up. I don't know that anyone's necessarily watching this. Oh, that's a big missed opportunity. Now they know. And Zek got caught as well, so Chase is going to try and flash the way back out. That's not going to catch anyone who's caught with the hot hands out, and it'll be cold hands now. Cold dead hands, specifically. Trying for We Did to cover off this diffuser, but they're actually just going to stick it. Is there enough time? There should be. Yeah, the Odin did its work. Infamous with the heavy machine gun here. Gonna be able to bring it in. Swaps to the op to boot. Mamba mode, they're on the board.
He got the spike to halfway, kind of playing on the edge of the hot hands, so he was able to get it to a point where he could pop off the spike and go back and force the fight. And for a second, he went back to the Odin again. So Infamous getting a little bit goobery here. Does decide to sell it and goes back to the rifle. You will see the Judge play coming in from the Cypher. Kind of curious to see where Critical is going to set up shop. Sometimes you'll see him play like right underneath window. You'll see players play with the Judge or even playing inside the site. So he's going to play Cubby for now. Bit of a problem sometimes is they can easily flush you out of that position. But without a raise, that's going to be a whole lot harder.
It certainly is. I mean, really, they don't have any... they've got the flashes on Phoenix, but they don't have the Omen for the Paranoia. They don't have a raise to drop some utility before it's going out of an angle. They do have the Brim ult, though, over on Mamba mode. Not available for ASMR here on the tape, but we'll see. Ooh, Critical with the Judge. Has to close up one fight straight away. There's going to be the tap. He's found one. He's found two. Actually, Zek came in with 2 of those kills. Critical only finding the 1. But whatever it is, the math works out. Everything on to Harmful. Playing in the back lines here with the Operator. If they do chase, yes, they'll get punished. But a safe wall and a res to absolutely secure this. Now a 1v5. That res, perhaps a bit of overkill. Sure, they're not going to let this round slip away, and Zek will do exactly that.
Solid round coming in from Mamba mode here. The follow-up to their first round success in the third round. And it should break the back of their opponent's economy, and it does. You can see the credits pretty low right now for ASMR. Sheriffs coming out. No deputy, just sheriffs.
Just sheriffs.
2 ops, though, in play currently for the other side. Mamba mode going to be putting in the dual op look with Chase carrying it as the Phoenix. Sova, We Did, will be the other one. It looks like Chase wants to get aggro, go for that shower peek right off the bat as the Phoenix. He's moving up into position, and he's going to have targets right around the corner if he just times his push right. Misses the first shot. There's the follow-up on this incredibly loud Operator. And we'll take Joseph out and send him into the Nether Realm for the remainder of the round.
I love the owl going to the teleporter. I love the fact that every object in this game will interact with the teleporter and go straight through. We do have We Did. Okay, might be revealed here behind the arrow. In fact, is, but sticks around just long enough to get that shot. Playing the timing. Weak does get a kill, though, on Infamous. So this position is very much threatened now. We Did, with no safe quarter, is going to stand up to the plate and swing. There's one. There's a shock dart coming back through. Tons of damage coming out from We Did. And now the reinforcements are here. The support is on, and Chase, just with the classic, will go chasing on in to finish off the round and take the lead here from Mamba mode. They are now up 3-2, and since the guns have come out, they've been sinking their fangs right into this one.
You know, I've seen some really fun Portal play where you send like an owl drone through Portal and you smoke top mid right in front of the box. And then your player in Hookah actually pushes into Portal as the owl opens up the doors and hides in there. You never really anticipate that, like a player being in there waiting because you anticipate that sound from someone going through the port. It can actually be incredibly good. It all boils down to just proper timing. You kind of need somebody else in Hookah to just bait out what's going on so you can figure out what's happening next. It can be fun if you do it with a Cypher and you have a good camera placement. You can push a cam right behind the wall in mid, and it would give you a lot of information. Here comes the play towards the site, though. The orbital strike going to be sent out towards U-Haul. There's an orbital strike on the defense as well. They're delaying currently. Does the spike go down? Yes. The Sage doesn't get away, though. Weak dedicates himself, volunteers as tribute to the spike. So they will get that site secured, but it'll be a 5-on-4 in favor of Mamba mode.
The Odin's on the scene as well. This is going to get interesting. There are players up. Of course, losing the Sage does take away your get-out-of-jail-free card in terms of the kills. Zek continuing this cleaning effort. Just starting to drop the bodies in decent post-plant positions. They can't win the duels, and with the smoke's down, they've got no cover. Sticking in the Molotov, Infamous will get this spike to halfway, and now Critical's going to try and finish it off, and he will. No chance for the deny. The shock arrow coming in just a little bit too late. And ultimately, the Odin picked up to finish the fray. Chase does have it with the classic, but the Odin survives most critically. And this was a nice round. Great retake from Mamba mode. Just really not flustered. Obviously, they have the advantage from the get-go there, but they saw that advantage through.
That's something we talked about before, though. Wanting to see that molly setup, so you go back further on short,
Yep.
and you set up the molly so that you can basically just sit back and not really have to play against them in the post plant. You just wait and let the molly do its work. Unfortunately, they used the ult to try to get on the site rather than saving it for the post plant, and it ends up resulting in a little bit of extra opportunity. I do love the way that the Brim dedicates himself to defusing, similar to the way that we saw the Sage dedicate themselves to the plant. Got the spike to halfway and made the round that much easier for them to win. An early death coming out here from Mamba mode gives ASMR a little bit of an advantage. Wall coming down as well. That'll trap the Boombot over towards short in the U-Haul. There's the ult being popped as the Hunter's Fury is going to connect on at least one. A third pulse coming out as well. Great damage being dealt there. You got to be careful here as another one's coming through. A few pulses coming out from Harmful. Critical and Fox got in on the action before that finished up. We find ourselves at a 2-on-3. Damage being dealt in both directions as Critical now chisels away at the ice over towards U-Haul. The spike continues to tick down lower and lower. Critical trying to come out of U-Haul. There's one right to his left. Great shots onto Fox. Spots out the player towards default. Shock darts coming down in that position from Weeded, who's up in heaven. The shock darts, though, not really dealing with the Brim, who is currently just sitting in that spot. Critical picks off one more, but the spike is too far gone. Joseph goes for the swing, takes out Critical. At this point, the round is lost, and everyone must die. Fire and brimstone for the round. It's success for ASMR, but at what cost?
At what cost? Well, they can reinvest fairly effectively into here. The problem is they don't have the deep pockets that their opponents do. It looks like we've got 4 sets of light armor as well, so that's perhaps very concerning as we do get into it. On the other side, the Odin still out. I am so surprised to see the continued insistence on the Odin here from Infamous. I think a large part of that is just to be able to spam the tuna can to deny plant over on towards B, but obviously we've seen it employed on celebration, so it's an expensive taste, but he seems to be able to bankroll to have it. We do have a teleport immediately through from Chase, who goes rolling just to clear this down. It's going to be a ton of information. They should be able to rotate out another player as a result. And that was the run it back as well. So they get that information for free and then bring the player back to the site where this is going to matter. Control out towards long, but Critical. Have the first shot here in Hookah. And with still a minute 15 on the clock, they're really going to commit to this fight. They've got their player in Hookah, their man in Havana. They could just bail, and realizing that Mamba is going to start to adjust, bring 2 players back through. So all of that early information that was gained off of the Phoenix ult, it's now kind of wasted. You're not really getting much for it. Obviously, if they'd been out towards showers, that was a huge opportunity to do a ton of damage. But at this point, it kind of resets. Take in towards site. Good recon bolt. Gives a ton of information over, and now they can float the bodies, and Weeded connects the shot a second as well. That operator just plucking bodies, finding the spike as well. Can't deal with Fox, though. Between the ult and the gun, Fox will take out that sniper, secure some space for the spike to go down, and at this point, it's up to the flank. But once more, Fox can control it. It loses teammate. Infamous is getting in on the action with that Odin. It all to Fox. Fox, the first. The name out, but the player close up, not anticipating that, not with the gun out. Zep catches him off guard, and as a result of that, Mamba mode. They take the 5th. They maintain their lead. They hold off the big play from Fox.
So Infamous, I don't know if you caught it. Infamous is using an Odin with the stim pack. So increasing that fire rate. I kind of wonder. So I remember coming into this, we had a tech delay initially as we had someone with an issue on their side. I wonder if Infamous is having internet issues, because remember, it was something wrong with his router, and that's why we see him use the Odin. That would make sense to me. Like, kind of just like, hey, you know, my ping kind of isn't working out well, my connection sucks, so Odin plus stim pack, massive fire rate, and just lay down as much damage as possible. He's kind of like the Terminator right now. When you see him carrying the Odin, it's actually somewhat hilarious. I mean, he's not necessarily putting in work, but it's a serviceable performance given that that could be a certain scenario that's playing out.
I mean, we talked about how Brim's ult is on crowd control than it is damage. You can talk the same way about the Odin critical. When you take one spot at the second as well and can back off. I like that Sage Wall. They should anticipate the altitude hold here, but that first peek's going to be effective. That's Spike. So a ton of information confirmed and taking out the second player in hookah from Zek. That now locks down said Spike. They got to deal with the player out towards long, but that's just Turnip. Just got a classic. There's not much to do here. Turnip honestly might just want to try and get this ult to work, except that he's already got his ult, so it doesn't really matter much. Let's see if Turnip can get a kill, get something, anything here. It's not looking likely. Now revealed, the spam on the corner. He is, in fact, a dead man. A clean round here to secure their 6th for the Mamba mode, and they are starting to look very pretty indeed. They've only dropped 1 gun round, and that was the round where everybody died as well, so there has been no opportunity to build anything approaching momentum here if you're ASMR.
Yes, this should do.
It was a good attempt in the end there, but the Classic stuck in that position to try to just do some extra damage. Goes for the jump peek with the Classic. Obviously, it's not really going to work out so well. Great tripwire placement coming in from Critical, and I am getting confirmation that Infamous was the one with the said issues, so it's certainly possible that that's why we're seeing the Odin played so much. Typically, when we see an Odin, it's in the hands of a Sova. Not going to be the case here. The Sova weeded actually is going to be the ones that gets things started for Mamba mode, reduces it down to just 3 here on the attack. The Recon Dart gets 1 pulse in, actually reveals 2 players as weeded peaks before that pulse finalizes. They've got the Orbital Strike and Resurrection. Res available as well for the defense. You've got Neural Theft on the Cypher as well.
You will not
Chase spamming
kill
through
my
the smoke
ally.
on the other side. He's got a curveball still available. Here's the peek to try and punish the Res. Doesn't work out so well for them. And just like that, ASMR turns it back around. The Neural Theft now going to get popped by the attack. And they realize that this B site is free and clear, so they're going to make their way out onto that site and go ahead and get that spike plant. Finding a safer position as the Molly pours in. Shock Dart into position. Moves him out, but he's got 15 HP. He's stuck in a terrible spot. Infamous may just start spamming through. The Odin does go burr, as I've been told.
Oh, here's the spot. There's the first Odin kill. Can he get more? Burr is indeed the noise of the Odin. It's been weeded so far to this point, but weeded out of things. It's all about the Odin. Infamous making this Odin sing. Burr is the tune it plays, and he's now backed off with the operator. He doesn't want to deal with this. He's just going to bail. They've got plenty of cash, but Infamous not fancying his chances. Will not stick to his guns. This one surprising a little bit. He's just going to tuck tail and run. Thought there might have been an opportunity there to pull off more, but I guess discretion is the better part of valor, especially since, as we believe, I was gonna say where it might be some infamous internet issues here, but it seems that no, Infamous is in fact the Odin master, as chat has let us know. Infamous is the Odin only player always. The man knows what he likes.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. You see a few players who really like to use the Odin, but again, typically it's a player who plays Sova, and a lot of times you'll see it on maps like Ascent specifically, where you have those paper-thin walls over on the B site. Sinatra, obviously one that stands out as a player who loves the Odin coming in from the Overwatch era, likes a gun similar to that, so I get it, but it's a little bit odd. I honestly, I just assumed it was because of his connection issues, but he just likes the Odin. And I can agree it can be a little bit annoying to play against.
Nowhere to run!
Kind of curious how he fares with the rifle, the Recon Dart giving away the position, but the pulse is coming out from the Hunter's Fury, not connecting for harmful. So sending out those pulses on his site, not doing any damage. Meanwhile, the rest of the team, though, is going over towards the B site. If anything, that ult was really good at pulling the attention away from B from Mamba mode. You've now got a Sage here alone. Zek's playing back elbow. And now the push is going to come through. The smoke's coming out. He's going to try and wall himself off to get a little vertical. Caught in the spiderweb currently for Duga is the raise. The ult comes out and it's fantastic as it cuts the push in half. But the problem is the only player here to really do anything about this is Zek. And he's hiding behind that wall, somehow still alive. Now the Hunter's Fury gets popped by Weeded. Pulse is going out onto the site, but it's Mamba mode that currently has at least a little bit of an advantage with the HP, even though it's even strength 4-on-4. There's still the Orbital Strike in play for ASMR, but as I say that, it's taken out of contention. Chase comes through with the curveball and drops the brim. It will now fall down onto 2. It's the Cypher and the Raze. They're both back elbow. They spot them with the Neural Theft. One final peek coming out. Mamba mode somehow get onto the site. and managed to retake, only losing 2 despite the fact that it was a one-man defense on the B site. It started out oh so good for ASMR, but Mamba Mode managed to turn it around.
Credit where credit is due. If this was tag, Zek would be the champion right now. Staying alive for so long, using the wall to get altitude, then falling off the wall, then using the remaining fragments of the wall as they chipped away at it to just buy time and be a pesky survivor for them to contend with. Great play from Zek, even though I don't believe he got a single kill in that round. All of his movements were absolutely worth it. We're going to have the fight again. They're going to test Whedon's operator here towards A, and that has not been a test they've been passing most round. There's the spot, the owl taken out. I've been so impressed with Whedon down the stretch here, and they're going to try and contest once more. Holding the angle. They're throwing an aim, just trying to make life difficult, trying to make life uncomfortable. Chasing the flank with the run it back. And there's Whedon with the first, Whedon with the second. You can't stop this man. What's with the shock darts or the op? He's getting it done. He's looking for more as well. Shock darts continuing to do damage. Infamous locking down with the Odin. That might just be the lineups here. Again, the shock dart. Finding kill after kill. Critical comes in for the support, but that leaves everything to harmful. The 1v4. No spike down to play around, and they're coming into the wall. They know where he's at. He's flashed. He's blinded. There's no chance he's getting away. That's a big play from Whedon on site, and the rest of the team played their roles fantastically as well. 8-4 is our half, and that is such a strong scoreline here on Vine.
Great first half coming in from Mamba Mode. ASMR had a few promising opportunities that got stomped out pretty quickly by Mamba Mode. They want to go into that grand final and try and take the crown. Trying to look and see at what point, I believe it was actually, yeah, it was the upper final. I thought so. So Mamba Mode lost to Morning Light in that upper final in a 3-map series, no less. Yep. So they want revenge against Morning Light, who's currently waiting in the grand final. The problem is Morning Light already going to have a 1-map advantage in the best-of-5 finals. So it's not exactly going to start out so great for the likes of Mamba Mode Gaming. Boombot and Aldrone out mid to try and get the intel. They'll back off of that, and they'll be moving up towards long instead. Weeks here and wants to set up the wall. The smoke's coming in. They see the shots coming through. Delays the wall initially right after the nade comes through. So they'll drop that nade on the other side. Here's the problem. They have a mass TP set up right now with all 5 players towards long. So if they decide to bail out on this B site, there's only one player playing over on B, or on A, excuse me. Now they start to rotate the Sova over, so at least they've got that going for them. Zek's going to go down to 91 HP as he chisels away at the ice. What do they decide to do? A smoke's going to go down and continue to impede their approach. The clock is ticking down lower and lower. Again, they've managed to pull that Sova back to the B site off of A, and Cypher is still alone. The Rays starting to put feelers out in mid, realizing there's no one there. They drop the spike back towards the Sage, and another smoke coming in. Masterfully played right now, just continuing to slow down this push on the B site.
You gotta imagine at some point they pull this ripcord and they go out towards the teleporter. At this point, so much time has elapsed off the clock. The information is gone. That recon dart gets denied, so they know there's one there, but that's all they've got. But feeling the presence of that one, they're gonna bail on out of here. Take a shower control. That they'll have uncontested. In the meantime, more players have gotten on towards this site. The Cypher's still on the other side of the wall. Recon bolt getting the information, but a turn up to do all of the damage. Turn up with a 4K in the round, and ASMR take a pistol that they desperately needed here. This is the turn up we had
ASMR.
on previous maps. This is what we need to see from them.
They've relied on this guy too much, though, in my opinion. Turn up has had to save them in various situations. I feel like somebody needs to kind of like offer a little bit of support, a little bit of help this man, as he's consistently been in that position where he's desperately trying to save the team from losing a round. He does it here in the pistol round they absolutely needed to win. You see that high shock dart coming in? That takes out the Cypher utility that was present. Turnup's going to put another one down, and it's also going to get taken out. Flame wall to allow them towards U-Haul, and a recon dart backside. Smoke's coming in. It's a great take coming out currently from ASMR. They'll go ahead and put the dart in the Sage. The wall comes up, and there's the plant coming through. So Mamba Mode with a fantastic take on the site, and ASMR is going to be stuck in the post plant. They're taking their time actually getting that spike down. They finally just get it, but as I say that, they actually start piling up kills here in the force buy and reduce it down to 2 on the defense.
This is such a tough retake as well. They know the positioning, they know what people are playing from, but U-Haul is a graveyard against a Stinger. And here are the Stingers. A little bit awkward on the spray, but it's infamous. Not with an Odin, but with its little brother. Another high fire rate gun, the Stinger, to take 2 and seal a 9th round from Mamba mode. The force by 1, with 3 alive, I believe, as well. So this is a desperate time now for ASMR. They did the hard work of the pistol, but then they stumble at what should be the cruising point. This is a big problem. Only 3 rounds away from map point for Mamba mode. 4 away from the dub. And all the momentum working in their favor at this particular moment. Can ASMR recover? Can they rally with a buy of their own? Not sure. It seems like they've invested in. They've got the Judge, so there are some limitations. But as we've said before, they can be some potent limitations. The Owl clearing, and they want to trade off of it. Here's the information. They know where 1 is. That might be an for the Judge. The Molly's being effectively used here. That means Wheat is done for. And the second trade will be there. Harmful does damage. But cannot survive. The Sage is still up, so this Sova should get healed in a moment. And Joseph is locked out. There's that heal coming through. Here's going to be the move back out. A wall to separate off Joseph. Spike going down, and no problems here for Mamba mode. Got that site, they've got that plant, and this becomes such a difficult retake now for the remaining members of ASMR.
Laraze is so incredibly low on HP. This would be a difficult retake here for ASMR. They're trying to get back towards the site. Good spam coming out towards Hookah. It actually drops the Brim really low, so he has to drop off the box. Infamous is going to go for the peek, but it's Zek there who actually finds the pickup. Turnip will get a trade, taking out We Did on the attempted push towards the site, but now it's all on him, and he's not turning up.
Yeah.
He's turning away. As Mamba mode have taken another round, they'll find double digits here as well. ASMR couldn't stop the B push, couldn't get back into the site either. Good round coming out from Mamba mode on the attack. Does the Cypher get away? It's going to be close. Now he's going to get taken out by the spike. See you later, Critical.
They double up their opponent's scoreline though, so perhaps worthy sacrifice and Critical. Blood for the Blood Gods. Blood for the Spike Gods. The Radiant Gods, I guess, in this circumstance. Since the Spike is theoretically about stealing that lovely Radiant. Which, never quite got how the, you're stealing the Radiant, but it explodes. I think you were talking about it the other day, where you're kind of curious. I believe this was when I was asked at some point. Curious about how the lore is going to shake out on some of these maps.
Yeah.
We do get a little bit more of that backstory, because,
Right here.
okay, we know they're stealing Radiant, but why does it explode? Why is the map completely vertical? Like, what's going on here? Why does anything happen? Does it matter because it's a competitive game? Not really. Are we curious? You damn right.
Yeah, of course. I think that Riot does a great job of telling stories. You know, I'm not a huge fan of the League of Legends franchise, naturally. I'm a Dota guy, but at the same point in time, I can respect the work they put in, the background storylines that they developed. We'll talk about that in just a second as the push is coming through towards the B site, and we've seen quite a few entries coming out from Mamba mode. The remaining players really not going to be able to do much about this one, as they've lost full site control here. They've already crossed and spawned. You saw the Stova bravely just go across an unsmoked door, somehow times it nicely, so he's able to sneak back in towards Elbow. Smoke's going to come in from Infamous as the Bryn, who's gone away from the Odin and has now used a more reliable weapon, but look at the flank coming in. Does Critical go for the knife? Come on. Yeah. Oh, he misses it! He misses it!
He dies! Oh! Knives are so unreliable in this game. Oh, you just gotta take the shot at the back of the head. He misses, swaps to the rifle, which gives the audio cue, and then realizes that he's missed. He's so confident in that landing, and he just knifes the air. Just knifes the air. So, not going to be going in his personal highlight reel. Might be going in ours. But Mamba mode, regardless of how embarrassing that final knife kill may have been, they take the round. And that's ultimately what matters. They're so close to the dub now, they can taste it. A 6th round lead and only 2 more. And they're in our grand final.
I hope there's some Fs in chat for that one. My goodness. Look, I get it. Knifing in Valorant is awkward, but my man was like 8 feet away. And he's like, this will work.
I mean,
oh god, switching my gun. No, just kidding. He didn't hear me. Switches back to the knife. He's like, oh no, he did hear me. Like,
What
it's
is it,
just
Call of
I
Duty,
feel like
where
you
you
could
get
cue
the
the
lunge
Benny
knife?
Hill music. Well, see, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people are used to almost like magnetic knifing, where like it kind of propels you forward and it like sucks you into your target. Obviously, you don't have that here, and the animation can be a little bit confusing because it feels like knifing in games that have that sort of magnetic approach with the knife. So, yeah, that was awful. And the Recon Dart isn't going to give away the position, but that ult going to be a little bit difficult to deal with. The run it back pop from the Phoenix pushing into U-Haul. You can see Harmful backing off, trying to escape, drop down to 88 HP, but the ult does exactly what it's supposed to do. It pushes you out of the site, and as a result, they're able to go ahead and get that spike secured. Mamba mode here in a 5-on-5. They do have the reds available, but no other ults currently. They have the neural theft on the defense. A lot of bodies currently built up in U-Haul. Shock Dart and Stacko coming out. Fox is going to push up even further, but the slow orb comes down again, impeding his approach. It's down to now 2 for Mamba mode, though. It's the Cypher and the Brim trying to play back behind the smoke. The Brim went ahead and tried to toss that Molly out. It's landed as of yet. The ult is coming through. Is it on time? Yes, it is! Hasn't bought them enough clock, though. They're going to try and go back and get the spike. I think they got it to halfway. They did. So it will be the round going their way. Even if they hadn't, they had enough time for the defuse. ASMR continue to stay alive in the game by finding their 6th round.
So close. So close. Here's the Fs in chat for you. There's a little bit of a delay on our end when the chat comes through, but there's some serious Fs in chat for everybody. I see someone saying, "Man's thought he had the Commando Pro." That's the reference right there. Good old Commando Pro, where you could sprint around. That was Modern Warfare, way back in the day. You just sprint around the map, lunging, knifing people before they even get a chance to respond. That was ridiculously broken. Good times. Good times. Big arrow coming through. We're gonna follow the arc on this. It's looking like 4th of July fireworks. It was not that long ago. My neighborhood still thinks every day is the 4th of July. As there's always a fireworks show somewhere in my vicinity. Shock Dart not going to connect, but dang, does it look pretty.
Infamous and his squad currently grouped up towards short. Looking like that's the direction they want to go. The Recon Dart doesn't give away... Oh, no, it does. So they'll actually get a pulse or two towards these players on short. Turnup's going to dodge that Owl Drone as well on the site. A Cyber Cage coming in from him as he's looking for a spot to lay down a tripwire. He's had limited success with those short tripwires as they continue to take them out in that position. You can hear the orb being picked up currently over in Showers. The Molly lands right in Harmful's lap, so he has to back off. There's this tripwire going down over on short as well, taken out as the Cypher struggles to slow down these pushes. But it's a very slow play from Mamba mode right now. We're down to the 30-second mark before they finally start making their way out. Nice nade coming in. It's a late one, but they're able to get past it. The Recon Dart does give out 1 bolt of information, and it's enough to at least net them 1 kill. Chase wants to go through the smoke. I love it. The flash comes through, but no, it doesn't actually go past the smoke, and as a result, no flash comes out. They're not going to get the spike either. It does not get secured. He dies in the attempt to put it on the ground, and as a result, the attack will pull the ripcord and bail out, as Mamba mode will watch ASMR find their 7th.
Feels like that was such a difference maker as well. Wheat gets caught on the flank. He's right at the end. So that operator is not going to go with him. It'll be in the hands of Fox instead. And that change up in the pace really did not serve them well. We saw Mamba mode very decisive in the previous takes, and they just didn't leave themselves any time in this one. So then we had a forced rush job on the spike plant. They didn't have proper control here. They didn't control the sight lines. And as soon as you start to lose one of those duels, you're so vulnerable from other angles. We just see the retake come through. Obviously, if Chase's flash trap had worked, maybe it's a different story because he at least gets the 1 kill, maybe ties up the 2nd player on the back line. So that may have been the one moment that everything hinged upon. But that's a problem with condensing your takedown to 20, 30 seconds is if there's one moment that everything hinges upon, better get that right. So a little bit of an awkward spot for Mamba mode. You're now starting to ask yourself questions on whether there's a possibility of ASMR creeping back into this one. They still got work to do, 4 rounds behind, but they're making it look a little bit more respectable, showing us that they're down, not yet out. Chase once again trying to entry. See some of the limitations of that Phoenix. Perhaps he can control the narrow area, but the paranoia on the incomparable Omen will give you more space. Weak! Okay, just checking the angles, taking critical with no vision on that player, just playing the corner of Luka. And that's gotta feel bad if you're over on the Mamba mode side. They're getting rejected. They barely see anybody at this point. And now the altitude lift comes in here. Fox Has a lot of vision, a lot of control. Harmful up. Locked down long. Peppering shots in towards Luka, and they're just going to back out. There's nothing doing for it. They got the spike all the way over. They heard the TP noise, but Sage wanted to bring this back through, and there's nothing doing for that. Lost the teammate. It's all just on to Zek. Zek 1v5. What can he possibly even hope for here? Could res.
He can hope to save his gun. I mean, honestly, that's what he can hope for. Zek has light armor currently and a Phantom. The Sage kit is incredibly expensive. There's targets coming around the corner. 5 seconds left in the round. Can he survive both of these? No. Turn up gets the trade, and that's the rifle being brought out. So, Mamba mode not going to have that extra weaponry to move into the next round. I'd love to see how it would affect the buy. I don't think we have the scoreboard here in the second half. Yeah, we don't.
No.
It's an unfortunate thing. I mean, there's nothing we can really do about it. There's a sort of workaround where you try to make it stick, but such is Valorant currently. Devs are fixing it. Fingers crossed it'll be done by the next patch. But right now, that'll make the round really difficult for Mamba mode.
Nice flash. The operator completely blinded Harmful. Vision does clear in time, though, and Harmful's going to get this shot. This is the same angle we saw. We did have a lot of success with previously. Turn up! Going to be turning up once more, and again, Mamba losing the initial picks. This time it's just a shorty! Harmful! The two-tap and the shorty in U-Haul. He's got the operator, the long-range gun, and the closest range gun in the shorty as the sidearm, and he makes both work for him in the round. 3 kills in total. ASMR getting their 19 style.
Harmful trying to get up on the APC. There's the boost coming through. You know, the boosting in this game, it's not technically supposed to work, but it does. Part of me just wants to say, just make it work. If people are able to sometimes do it, then just enable it so we can make it work. There's the stim pack coming down, landing at the top of the fountain. Jump peaks coming out currently from Chase. Or not Chase, excuse me. No, yeah, Chase. Isn't he the one playing the Phoenix?
He is indeed.
Yeah. I thought so. I had a brain fart there for a second. I was like, no, that's not Chase. And I was like, no, wait, yes, it is. Chase was going for those jump peaks to try and bait out a shot from an AWP in case someone was playing up in that position. They're not playing that aggressive. Weeks on the AWP currently. Tries to delay and time a shot towards the corner of Hookah. But there's no one present. There's actually no one in Hookah at all currently. The Sova is the closest one. He's all the way at the bottom of mid. There's the smoke coming down. Do they use the wall to try and get over top of the smoke? We'll see. The nade's going to come through, and Chase gets obliterated by that, so the run it back not having much success. Here's an ult coming through potentially as they have the orbital strike. When they pop that, though, they could end up just inevitably forcing them through, but they put the slow orb down first. That's going to make it difficult. The spike has to go out into the site. That Zek going down. Weeded gets stuck in the ice, and the fire and ice could be oh so powerful. It's down to now just 3 for Mamba mode. The Brim, the Phoenix, and the Cypher. That Neural Theft is available. Weak doesn't want to peek too far, and good thing there's targets waiting around the corner lined up for him. Yeah, you might get collateral. He also might get traded out immediately. The Recon Dart giving away the position of one. It's come down to only one. It's Infamous. The King of the Odin. Currently getting hunted. He had his Odin. Maybe it would have worked out better for him. ASMR have found a 10th round double digits for themselves here on the defense as Mamba mode have stagnated.
It feels like Mamba mode. They were a sports car hurtling around the road, right? Hurtling down the highway at full speed, charging towards that finish line, and then they hit a massive pothole, and they just went flying, lost a tire, they skittered to a halt, and all of that speed that we were seeing from them, the decisiveness, it just slowed up. We're seeing them repeatedly lose that initial pick as they come in towards the site, and then just stall out as a result of it. We saw them get caught towards the long path time. We've seen them get caught in towards a short, showers, wherever they're headed. If they lose that initial duel, it feels like they stall out in a way that they just can't get away with. Trying your luck with the Sheriff through the wall, having gotten the tick. It's not quite going to work, but at least puts him on notice.
Smoke's down.
This from Mamba mode, a limited buy to try and keep ASMR off of the time. With ASMR already taking a pick now that they got the double off, this kid's very We can come alive as well. Fox gets a kill with just the satchel, I believe that was, so no problems here, and Turnip is going to have 2 in his face, but as we know, Turnip is capable for that, and with Fox in support, it's just too easy for him. All on to Weedid. Weedid's been good. Weedid's got a Phantom to work with here. But at this point, Weeded has to just be considering bringing that Phantom into the next round. They got nothing doing in this. Not even damage at this point, Mark.
I have the spike.
These rounds have just drastically turned into the favor of ASMR, as Weeded is the only one left standing currently with the Phantom. Has the spike, 28 seconds on the clock. Also has the Hunter's Fury, has that ult available. Aldrone still at his disposal as well. And his Recon Dart is up currently, but realistically speaking, it's time to hold on to that gun. White Knuckles currently gripping the Phantom. As targets get closer and closer, a Jiggle Peak spots out one, but now they know where he's at, and he is running as far and as fast as he can. As he runs back towards the Wishbone, he's taken out by Joseph. A flawless round coming out from the defense. They have tied things up at 11 rounds here. Mamba mode, they wanted revenge against the team that sent them down to the lower bracket, and it looked like it was almost guaranteed at one point. But an impressive clawback from ASMR has brought it to tie point deep in this second half. A big round about to come up here as ASMR look to secure number 12 and guarantee at the very least overtime.
The Odin's out. The Odin's out for Infamous. Says, you know what? Let's go back to what works. Committing to the Odin play here.
Revealing area.
Talking about it before when he's in the 1v3 or 1v4, I believe. Three players coming around the corner. The Odin might have served him well, but we'll see if it does in this situation. Harmful. Again, playing the Eagle in the APC. This has worked so well for both sides on the defense with the operator. See if he can make it sing once more. It seems like the Brim's going to be getting ready to move into its sight. It's actually the ult coming into clear heaven. Nobody's home, but at least they eliminate that as a possibility. And here's the take in, but once again, slow and steady goes the take, and that's just not working for them. Harmful takes out Weekend, the heavy hitter gone now for this squad. They could get the res, but they need to get the body secured to do so. And Sage has already left. She wants nothing to do with this, so that res is not going to be coming to fruition. Instead, it seems like they're making their way on towards B, and this has been given up. Weak went weak on his hold. Went very limp indeed, and Chase is so far from critical, and Weak hits it! Oh no! Chase should have had all the momentum, but Weak catches them off. And now there should be a spike point in the Tunican for Zach, but denied by Joseph. The spam coming through at such a critical time and dropping that spike as well. Playing the angle. This gets tough indeed. Infamous holding with the Odin just to see if one comes through the TP. But they've got to get that spike down before they operate like this. And at this point, they're just going to save. They've got no time. They've got 10 seconds. Weak wants the Odin for this final round. And I don't know that they're going to give it to him somehow in some way. ASMR have brought this all the way back. 12 to 11. So many rounds in a row. And now one away from progressing themselves out of the lower bracket and into the grand final.
ASMR. They fought their way back into the game after a disappointing first half left them with a massive deficit. And they've brought it to this point, and Mamba mode looks stunned currently. The buy coming in from them, and we can pull up the scoreboard and see one player to get an idea. Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. I know we can't see everyone, but expect similar things coming out, as there's going to be SMGs like Stingers and Spectres, pistols as well brought in from Mamba mode. Maybe that'll work out for them. Now the ult popped over on A might start pulling resources over. You can see there's already one starting to move into that position. So they have at least successfully pulled one out, but the Sova's actually going back to B, not to play defense, just to get a heal. So the Sage has to come back. The Sova was momentarily on that B site, ready to offer up some support, but it is going to be on the two remaining members of the defense here on site. You've got Joseph currently jiggling from inside the Tunican, getting spotted as they start to push through. The shock darts on both sides. Gonna do a little bit of damage, but it's critical who connects on the shot. The ult gets popped, but doesn't produce success. Just as I say that, they've managed to find their way on the site. And it will be a 4-on-2. The Neural Theft is available. It'll be the Cypher and the Sova. The res comes out from Zach to make things even easier for them. It is a 5-on-2, and it looks like we'll be going into overtime.
And I think we're having it. It's all just on the Chase, or Zek rather, and Zek can't do it. Sorry, Zek does do it. Harmful on the other side. Heads flipped, but it's overtime. Everything is flipped here. We had a massive run back. 6 rounds in a row. 7, actually, to get to that point. 7 rounds in a row. from ASMR, but ultimately Mamba mode, finally, when it seemed like they might just be over and out, counted out of the fray, managed to bring back that final play that they so desperately needed. It's that frustrating thing of not being able to get that map point for so long. But as soon as your opponent secures it, as soon as they maybe ease their foot off of the gas just a touch, that's when you get the answer. That's when you get the rally. That's when you get to OT. So now money is not an issue. We can have as many operators, as many Odins as we want, and Infamous is in fact going to pick that up. Now we see what they can find. So ASMR on the defense once more. Mode trying to push through, and they're going for this short play. They have not had a lot of success with it. We've seen a lot of them getting stalled out. It seems like wants to go for this peak. That's actually harmful. So I believe we have the half switch here. We have the team switch right now. ASMR is actually on the attack Mamba mode, defending. Now we see them go through. Infamous trying to hold the line with this Odin, has support as well. The bodies are starting to drop. The damage is coming through.
Stim beacon here.
Stim beacon goes in to support that Odin. And there's the Odin in. That high rate of fire just annihilates the blocks. Turnip was trying to use for cover. No chance whatsoever to have it. And one after another, they are all falling. This defensive side going to be able to get the defuse on. There's only a Brim to hold them at bay, and that Brim can't find much. Trying for it is Joseph. Just too many crosshairs going his way, including a strong Odin. It's 13 rounds now for ASMR. Or, no, sorry, I'm completely turned around now. Now we've switched it. It is 13 rounds for ASMR. They got it.
It switches back and forth each and every round.
Yes.
It is unfortunate that that's how it goes, but it's going to switch every single round. So, something to be prepared for. Expect it to switch back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But at least we have the scoreboard again. So there's that.
That's nice.
We got the scoreboard back. Again, it's a bug at second half, but it comes back in overtime, so that's cool. You can see those high shock darts currently coming out, taking out any Cypher hardware that would be over on the site, but we did. He's got that operator. And he's going to toss out now a recon dart. And his team is currently grouping up in mid, heading over towards B. As you can see, they're trying to gather up some control of Hookah. There's only one player, or two players, excuse me, on this A-side defense. It's the Sova and the Cypher. And there was a Cypher here, but he was just lurking. But as I say that, the rest of the team is starting to come back. So initially, they put some presence towards that B site with the shock darts, or the A site, excuse me. Then they used the recon dart to get into Hookah, and then they backed off, and now they're going to be moving up short.
Here goes the Owl. Critical trying to trade off of it, perhaps. We did getting some information with it. Did just getting a touch. Here's the Infamous from the Odin as well. And Beacon goes down on the steam. The plant will be in. Location revealed as well from that recon dart. So a lot of information to operate off of. Great peek from Critical. Huge push. Huge pick to find. That might just be enough. They're looking for it. Now they can have the spike with an advantage. It's this fight in U-Haul, around which everything else may be determined. Trying to go for the pre-fire, the spam, but it doesn't quite work. But they know there's another player here. They're devoting bodies to clearing it out. It doesn't work. Zek has this, and the res as well. Everything onto the final player remaining in Weak doing work, but Weak needs to get onto that spike sooner rather than later. And they're just chasing away, trying to buy time, delaying him at every turn. That may just been enough. Coming through the flame wall. It's Infamous with the Odin. What else to fittingly put an end to this? Mamba mentality. They do take it through. 14-12. They've got it in overtime. They couldn't secure it in regulation, but finally they avoid the comeback. They advance on it to get